I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Puneet's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus, which is with Saturn and Mars, which is in the sign of Aquarius, which is in Sadbhisha Nakshatra, will leave this Rahu Nakshatra and move into a very unique Nakshatra, a Nakshatra of Jupiter, but a Nakshatra which represents spiritual fire, which is symbolized by the two ends of the deathbed. But this means beginning after the end. It means you have to leave things behind and move to a new life. And a planet of relationship, love, and affection, the planet that revolves around luxuries, that is not a Moksha Karaka, when it goes into this Moksha Karaka Nakshatra, it kind of creates a lot of paradoxes. These are like opposite forces. These are like the planet of love and affection stops being the planet of love and affection in the material self, and in Purva Bhadrapada, it starts its journey to become exalt in the sign of Pisces while bowing down at the feet of Mahavishnu, completely transforming from Daitya Guru Shukracharya to a representation of Mahalakshmi. And this is the nakshatra that allows this transition to happen. It's a very important nakshatra. The nakshatra is called Purva Bhadrapada. Purva Bhadrapada is a nakshatra ruled by one form of Rudra Shiva, which is also known as Aja Ekpada. But it is like a deity with one leg and two faces, which defines the duality of the cosmos, but having one single origin, that is standing on one single unified platform. That means this nakshatra talks a lot about the duality of the world, the duality of the duality of the people, the good and the bad, but also explains the origin and how to go beyond this duality to become one with the God. And what beautiful placement of Venus in Purva Bhadrapada, and what beautiful time, because it is with Saturn and Mars, which is behind this Venus, trying to create a kind of a, you can say, energy chakra which pushes Venus towards spirituality. Let's discuss more on that. But before that, do not forget to hit like and subscribe the channel. Subscribe because that keeps you and me stay connected. Share the video among family and friends. Put your suggestions in the comment box below and also your experiences without sharing your date of birth. And if you want to take my consultation, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box and on the screen right now. If you want to connect me on Instagram, Telegram, other social media platforms where I upload other interesting stuff, you can see the description box below and you can follow me there. And if you want to take Patreon subscription where I'm uploading interesting stuff, some greater insights, some more deeper insights and something extra, you can follow me there on Patreon channel. Let's start Venus transit in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada is a very spiritually oriented nakshatra. It's a nakshatra that is slightly eccentric in nature, but it's a nakshatra that can create brilliant scientist or an exceptional aghori. It's a nakshatra that has tremendous spiritual power because it carries you out of this world. It carries you from Aquarius, something where everything is connected, to Pisces, where everything seems to be disconnected. That is why Mercury becomes debilitated there. Now, Purva Bhadrapada, spanning itself in these two zodiac signs, talks a lot about its journey, what it wants to do, and you have to burn and sacrifice your life here so that you can go into the next life and you can actually focus on moksha, which talks a lot about burning your prarabdha karma, focusing on tapasya and sadhana, doing yajna, and trying to build your spiritual self. So when Venus goes into this nakshatra, all this is possible if you already have a spiritual life, spiritual horoscope, so you will grow leaps and bounds. But imagine someone who is extremely connected with the material world, someone who has no idea about spirituality. What will happen to that person? Such person will transform their career, such person will transform their way of spending money, such people will transform the way they see life. How? Because see, when Venus is a material nakshatra, planet, when it goes into such spiritual nakshatra, because of the two-phase nature of Purva Bhadrapada, they encounter people who are positive in the front but negative behind. You will be said something, something else will happen. This duality confrontations will happen, and you will be having trust issues, especially in your married life, especially with your partner. So if you're into relationship, partnership, you might get into a lot of trust issues, especially people who have Purva Bhadrapada moon, Venus in Purva Bhadrapada, or debilitated Venus, Venus in Virgo zodiac sign. If you have a very powerful and positive Venus, this may take you spiritually very high. You may go into meditation, tratak, dhyan, sadhana. In fact, praying to Mahalakshmi, chanting Shri Sukta every day is an exceptional remedy. But those who are completely into the material world, those who are very competitive in nature, those who wants to win big, those who wants to open company, nothing wrong, but no spiritual alignment, you will see tremendous amount of personality shift happening. People will remind you of their true character, and you will be surprised that your friend may become your enemy and your enemy may turn out to be your well-wisher. This might create confusion in mind, and you may have a self-doubt. Therefore, presence of a guru, a proper guide is needed. So if you are perplexed in a dilemma, in a crossroad, talk to someone. Take help. Because Venus in Purva Bhadrapada can be like putting you in a firestorm where everything is getting engulfed and you don't know what to do, where to head, because every door seems to be closed. On the other hand, Venus in Purva Bhadrapada can give you a lot of meditative qualities. Use a lot of rose quartz crystal. Meditate, especially on a Friday. Use a lot of fragrance, flowers during this time, and try to pick up one mantra and continuously chant that mantra for at least 27 days. Now, because Purva Bhadrapada has this otherworldly theme, Purva Bhadrapada has this theme of connecting to darker reality. This Purva Bhadrapada has this theme of connecting to different world. When Venus goes there, it becomes highly occult in nature, something like a tantric or an aghori. You might connect to a different realm. Those who are very sensitive to these kind of fluctuations might get experiences. Some may get nightmares, some may get divine presence. All you have to do is control your chakras, especially your lower chakras. How can you do that? By not getting angry, by not getting lured by the positive, the gold and the glitter and the glamour. By becoming very polite. I'm not saying glamour is bad. All I'm saying is you should not destroy your peace of mind because of that. It's a tool to make things presentable, but it's not everything in your life. If that becomes everything, Venus in Purva Bhadrapada is going to take that part away from you. A lot of dark theme will play around this. A lot of people will try to follow the path of horror movies. A lot of people will gain interest in Tantra. A lot of people will try to connect to the souls. Be careful when you're doing it. If you are doing it under the guidance of a guru, and if you're following the path of Tantra, you should know what you're doing. You should know where you're headed. You should pray to Ma Mahakali by chanting Kali mantra. Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Svadha Namostate. By bowing down and praying to Ma as your mother is going to help you a lot. See, Venus in Purva Bhadrapada is the feminine energy coming from the different dimension. So it creates an interdimensional travel, just like Bharani Nakshatra. The difference is Bharani brings things into this realm, Purva Bhadrapada takes things out of this realm to a different realm. Now, where are you planning to go? Up or down is your karma. Now, when you invest in Purva Bhadrapada, you have to be very careful, because first you are moving from Saturn energy to Rahu energy. Why? Because zodiac wise, Purva Bhadrapada spans between Aquarius and Pisces, and in Pisces you get Rahu. And Rahu is in Revati Nakshatra. This can give you materially, it can lure you in. You might feel that there is a dimensional leap in maybe opening a company, or dimensional leap in finding the right job. Be very careful. You need to follow the trick of Rahu. Rahu can trick you by making you believe that some path is really a glorified path, but that glorified path may have a very bad end. Always see what happens after you reach the destination. If the destination and the journey beyond the destination is positive, then you are in a good track. If the destination is uncertain and the journey is unknown, then I will say reconsider the path that you're choosing. Doesn't matter it is personal or professional. Now, coming to the creative side of life, you have to understand that from the perspective of creativity, Venus in Purva Bhadrapada is more about someone playing like a villain, someone who is expressing through the darker shades of their art, someone who is trying to portray something that kind of haunts you, but it's a beautiful art. You know, it in India, it gives me, I don't know whether you have watched this or not. I can give an example from an Indian web series called Asur. In Asur, there was a character called Vrinda. I'm not sure whether the Western people will be able to relate this with this or not. But even in India, if you can watch or search about Vrinda Asur 2 in Google, you will understand that lady used to create pictures of demons. That is Venus in Purva Bhadrapada expressed in a negative way. So it's a typical visual impact you can see at that moment. Using your art for the darker things. All the different negative entities, different kind of emotions might develop during this time because it is eccentric in nature. So to control it, you need to access to the spiritual side of it. Now, if you have a weak or very bad Venus, or if you are a Taurus or Libra ascendant or moon sign native, you have to be slightly careful, especially about your health, because Venus in Purva Bhadrapada, if creates a negative impact, can really impact your hormones, and this can create gender crisis, identity crisis, emotional crisis, relationship crisis. And the only way to solve this is to sacrifice. Like, forget the past, create a new future. Forget the past, create a new future. Always see the brighter side of life. And that is how you can make the best use of Venus transit in Purva Bhadrapada, whether you are Aries, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn, whatever ascendant or moon sign you are. The theme remains the same.